Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Game over.
Thank you so much. On this, a public holiday. June 16 was yesterday one of my favorite public holidays in this country. One that is filled with nostalgic, reminiscent of times gone by. Didn't live it personally, not old enough. But it's a time that through movies like Sarafina and many more, you get to pinter. And I'm a historian myself, or rather a lover of history. So you get a picture painted as to the fact that where we are now was fought for in blood, was won with lives. Absolutely love it. I speak to my kids about it and all those that are younger to say, do you understand the significance of this? Because it is not people my age who had the powers and the voices to be on radio and speak what they needed to in order to make a change. It was young people in high school. And yes, it's popularly known as the uprising in Soweto in 1976, led by the likes of Hector Peterson and Mbuyiseni, who passed on Hector Peterson, of course. But it was the whole country. Now, I remember in KZN, there was fights and there was young ones who were causing havoc of their own. Yes, speared by what happened in Soweto. Today, we're able to be on this radio speaking sport. We're able to tell you that Belgium, the golden generation that is now looking like golden oldies, is down by a goal after 10 minutes. All of this coming up is Sports That Are Amplified with Andile. Thank you so much for the touchdown. They do it again tomorrow between 3 and 6. After a long weekend like this, much needed replenishment, I can tell you that. Even little old me got to go out this past weekend. Had a hell of a time. I tell you.
Really, guys?
I went to a hip-hop R&B vibe thing. DJ Speedster, you know Speedster?
I know Speedster.
Yeah, he hosts them once a month, so I was there. Ke groove, my man. Babeta boys too many, eh? Babeta Drew Hill. Nigga ke mo Metro on a Sunday. No shot the fella Wilson being course. Ha, lona litse, lona. Ha.
Remember next time.
No. But we were bolo or only busy now. Shall get down in the mara relay rile. No, we can't. It's the Three Wise Men on a Monday, 15 after the hour 6. Welcome to it. It might seem that football is a little slow now because all the leagues have gone quiet. The tennis at the moment, of course, after Roland Garros, a little quiet as well, although we are in America at the moment. There's a T20 as well. South Africa play their game. Is it tomorrow or Wednesday? Tomorrow, I think it is, where we play the USA, in fact.
Yeah.
So a big match to look forward to that. There is the Euros currently underway. England underwhelming. Jude Bellingham continuing with the amazing form that he's currently on. You've got a match right now that's currently underway. Belgium versus Slovakia. Belgium led by the likes of Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne, who have under-delivered when it comes to the strength of a team that they've had. At some point, even number one in the world. But unable to capitalize on that in terms of winning any silverware. They are down by a goal at the moment after 15 minutes have been played out in Germany. We'll look at those results as well from over the weekend as to what has happened there. But there's also PSL action because remember that it's time for the playoffs. There's one game remaining in the playoffs. Tugs are sitting at home, Baminte, under pen inside Chief right now. Baminte, because they failed to do the job.
Yeah, they should have done the job themselves.
They were the favorites.
Yeah.
Tugs were the favorites. Mm-hmm. Out of even Richards Bay, Tugs were the favorites. They failed to do the job. Baroka, I wonder if they're sitting back and looking at the fact that Dan Malasela was let go at the wrong time. My hebe. Over my hebe. Hey, if you don't know my hebe, hey, go listen to our podcast. My hebe is the reason that Dan Malasela was let go from the team. Come in, Morgan Mamila. 2 games played. He has unable to win a game so far. But any one of those 3 teams can still go through. We'll explain to you as to how it can happen. There's one game remaining, and it's Richards Bay versus Baroka.
Free entry, by the way. At that game, yeah. At Kings Valentini Stadium.
Kings Valentini Stadium.
They've opened the gates.
Richards Bay can go through. Baroka can go through. Tugs will be sitting, the fate not in their own hands, and hoping that Baroka do the business for them. A draw or a win for Richards Bay seals it. We'll explain the complexities of what happens if Baroka win in a bit. It's the Three Wise Men on a Monday.
The Three Wise Men, but not always so wise, on Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. I
don't know how I could forget this. The URC, Jake White. Oh, You know, my neighborhood, G'day Kempton Park, my neighborhood was buzzing. You could hear it. You could smell the braai in the air, Buti.
Yeah, I'm a bit bummed. The final was going to go to Soweto, right? FNB, but something about the inauguration of the president being moved. You know, the president of the Blue Bulls explained it last night. It's no longer. It's now going to be at Loftus. Would have been an absolute party. That braai would have continued in the heart of Soweto.
No, I mean Jack White and the Blue Bulls win over Leinster was a big deal. It was huge. You know, when he spoke about being. And I don't know if he was aware when he was speaking that it meant a lot more than just his rugby players, because he was saying there's something when South Africans, and he was speaking about rugby players, when they put their mind to something, he says he saw it as the boys were coming out. He says as they walked out, I looked at them and I said, holy moly. You know, he says, I knew exactly what was going to happen because I could see it in their eyes. And there's something about a South African rugby player. And I said, it's not a South African rugby player. It's a South African you're describing. Let's hear now from Jake White on the win over Leinster.
I mean, I actually feel like I'm back coaching the Springboks. You know, it brings back good memories because, I mean, this is what it's all about. You know, people often talk about these big games and, you know, to play an international side like Leinster, as I said to you just now, Matt, is, you know, brings back very fond memories. You know, I just hope, as I said, the players appreciate that have worked really hard, that they get an opportunity to measure themselves. And it's such an exciting time because in 3 weeks' time, these guys are coming back to play us. So, you know, every little guy who ever grows up in South Africa says, I want to be a Springbok. Well, you know, you're not going to get any better chance than showing people whether you can or can't.
Well, I mean, amazing weekend to be South African. That absolutely amazing. It's a three wise men, which means it's myself, Andile, Ncube. On the other side, it's Tatane, Victor Hlungwane, the principal, and as well as Mazola Molefe, super journal. Hey, you know, you can say whatever you want, but in my books, the best sports journalist in this country right now is Mazola Molefe. Tatane, I saw JD Shivane playing football over the weekend. Was it your tournament?
No, it was not my tournament. I was also playing yesterday.
I'd love to know his views on the ref.
Jelly.
Yeah.
No,
because that ref seemed like he was better than most of what we've seen in the DStv Premiership.
If you look at his pace, you can see that is McDonald's scooter.
What do you have going on for us over the next hour?
Yeah, thanks, Riperile. We're having additional time. We want to talk about additional time in the game between Richmond and Copperbelt. We saw a referee adding board going out for 5 minutes, but only 3 minutes was played. So we'll give some clarity there. And
have a thought about this. If you haven't, maybe look it up now. The rule at the Euros, the captain's rule at the Euros, it's a new rule that's been implemented. Remember, tournaments like these are used to try out new rules in football that, if they do work, are then implemented. We saw at the World Cup with the time. You know, time is added. Now you've got games that have additional time of 8-10 minutes because of the rule that was established at the World Cup. There's a new captain's rule at the Euros. I'd love for you to tell us about it when we come back.
Okay.
Mazola Molefe, Super Journal, what do you have?
A silly season, Andile. But we'll be confirming some of those. We've got the latest, obviously, on Gavin Hunt. Chipam Pengesi spoke to my colleague Velile Mnyandu out in Kabeja about Stanley Nwabali. There's a lot of mahebe around the Nigerian goalkeeper. And we'll hear from Ronwen Williams, Abuaka, that moment where he asked Hugo Broos to bring in Erlebuhile Mufokeng.
What was the first time? Who was it the first time when you did that? It was Veli Moto, wasn't it?
It was Melusi Buthelezi.
Oh, was it Melusi? I remember it was a goalkeeper. We said, sit me out, put him in.
Yeah, they were beating Sierra Leone 4-0 at FNB Stadium, and he went to Hugo Broos and asked him to bring Melusi in for his debut.
It's 18:21. When we come back, it's this and so much more.
Feel the rhythm. Embrace the vibes. It's Metro FM, the soundtrack to your day. Keep it locked for non-stop entertainment with the coolest presenters and top-notch music. We are Metro FM. It's where you want to be.
Right, let's take a look back at the results from the weekend. Germany and Scotland on Friday. It was 5-1 by the end of that match. They're the opener of the UEFA. Two young scorers in Wits and Musiala scoring the first goals there. Then you come to Saturday, as far as the Euros are concerned, it was Hungary-Switzerland, and Switzerland beating Hungary by 3-1. Spain versus Croatia, one that I thought would be a lot tighter than it is. 3-0 is how that ended there. I'm not convinced about Spain. I think it's a building young team, but the likes of Carvajal, Ruiz, and Morata, especially Morata and Carvajal adding that seniority to this team, both of them scoring in that game there. Italy beating Albania by 2-1 there. Croatia, they're going to be highly disappointed themselves. Then Slovenia and Denmark, 1-1 is how that ended. Not convinced by England either. Jude Bellingham scoring the goal there to beat Serbia in the 13th minute 1-0, but not a convincing match. That Netherlands versus Poland. This Netherlands team has done well coming into this tournament. They've done really well coming into this tournament. They've got Verhorst, they've got the likes of Gakpo as well. They did fantastic in that victory against a very strong Poland. 2-1 is how that match ended there. And of course today you'll be seeing Austria versus France. That's at 9 o'clock. Romania versus Ukraine. Romania putting 3 past Ukraine. 3-0 is how that ended. There's a lot of friendlies as well in South America in preparation for the Copa at the moment. And the big talking point in and around Copa is Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho coming out and saying he's not watching a single match of the Copa because this is the worst Brazil team in history. Ronaldinho, he put out there, he says this is the worst Brazil team in history.
Well, fair enough if it comes from the GOAT himself.
You know what I mean?
He's seen legends of the game. He's played alongside them. He's seen a Brazil team that went on to win World Cups, but this one looks average. I mean, at times they can't even get past the knockout phases of the World Cup. So maybe he's got a point.
And this is a team without, the biggest star is going to be Vinny Jr. Because Neymar, of course, still injured, nursing that injury. He's not going to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And I think it's calling time on his career at an international level. A very sad way to end it to be. But Ronaldinho just simply coming out and saying, nope, he will not be watching it. He's not interested. It is the worst Brazil team in history. I actually want to read you exactly what he wrote. This is a team that's
I wonder if he'll take it back if they actually win the Copa.
They'd have to win it.
Yeah.
He says, and I quote, "That's it, folks. I've had enough. This is a sad moment for those who love Brazilian soccer. It's getting hard to find the spirit to watch the games. This is perhaps one of the worst teams in recent years. It has no respectable leaders, only average players for the majority. I've been following football since I was a kid, long before I thought about becoming a player. And I've never seen a situation as bad as this. Lack of love for the shirt, lack of grit, and the most important of all, football. I repeat, our performance has been one of the worst things I've ever seen. Such a shame. I therefore declare my resignation. I will not watch any Cotton Ball Copa America game, nor celebrate any victory." So there, it answers your question.
Wow.
It answers your question.
Wow.
What's about Anthony? We love Anthony go Madrid. Go United. I love Anthony, but go United. Step over, let's turn around, and then he realizes he's out of play.
Yeah. Wow.
Tatani? UEFA right now at the Euros have come with, or FIFA has come with the new rule, whatever it is. I'm not sure how that works actually as far as they're concerned, but FIFA has come with a new rule to say that only any player, which is something you're always talking about,
yes,
any player steps up to the referee to argue, to ask questions, to comment on anything, they will get a yellow card. Only the captain of the team is allowed to speak to the referee during the 90 minutes.
There's lots of hebe on the loss of the game. Let me give you another hebe. Someone is written, FIFA is reportedly set to introduce a new rule allowing leagues to play at least one match of their domestic campaign outside of their home country. Another is here.
This is something that FIFA has been wanting to do for a very long time.
Yeah.
To be able to take the game globally, particularly in the top 5 leagues. So this is a conversation that's always been had for a very long time to say, imagine taking Real Madrid versus Barcelona to Tokyo. And have 120,000 seater in Tokyo, to globally grow the game. You're seeing cricket right now in the USA. It's the same thing, to grow the game.
It's doable in Europe, but imagine Madagascar. You're taking one domestic league outside Madagascar. Poor country for that matter.
It's for the big leagues. It's for the big leagues.
Oh, for the big leagues.
It's for the big leagues.
Oh, no. Okay, I know. Let's leave it. If
it's
doable. Let's go straight.
Answer my question, Chief.
Let's go straight into your question, Ma'a. Yes, there's an experiment. There were one that has passed now. It's the captain armband. It was not a law. It was not a must for you to put the captain armband.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was not a law. But now, when we talk of the new FIFA amendments on the 1st of July, we'll talk about the captain armband. It's now a law. Now, on top of that, they've also added that, no, man, only the captain should be allowed to speak.
So now there must be a player within the 11 players that's wearing an arm belt. That is the new law according to FIFA. There must be a captain that is wearing the arm belt to show that he is the captain.
We must.
How
must. It means whether warata or rat. If I own captain armband, you talk Kenya bandage. Yeah, the doctor. So the team had the record the armband because now it's a law. You must have. So on top of that, in that discussion, they also discussed that only the captain should go and speak to the referee. You know, football is an emotional game. At our level, they will tell you the referee, a top referee must be able to manage the emotional reactions of players and coaches. So now, you look at the emotions when a penalty is given, when a red card is given, all players will come to the referee. So they have to experiment it if it will work in this Euro. If it will work, of which can
I tell you where I see the complication?
Yeah.
Who is the captain of Bafana Bafana?
Rowan.
Right?
Yeah.
Something happens in the opposition penalty box.
He must run all the way.
He must run all the way to the other side.
And when you run away, we are advised that what do you want? Because in terms of the law says the captain has no special status or privileges.
But this is giving the captain special status, isn't it?
No, that status has not been removed. It's still there.
No, but if you're saying to me the only person in 90 minutes that can approach the referee and have a conversation with him, it means that you're giving special privilege to the captain. The captain is Ronald Williams. He needs to run from our end to, because Baba Shailil Al Foster in the box there.
Yeah.
We're arguing that it's a penalty. He needs to now run across to go argue it there.
If he argues, it's a yellow card, showing dissent.
Okay, read the rule.
But he's the captain.
Read the rule.
Yeah, even if it's a captain, he has no special status.
Read the rule. What does it say? What are they doing now? What are they attempting?
No. There are circumstances where a referee can approach a referee, where a captain can approach a referee, but not to question the referee. No, that was not a penalty. You do that, it's a yellow. But there are circumstances where the captain can say, "But Mr. Ref, check. They are using elbows. It's allowed." But not to come and say, "Hey, it was not a penalty," but utabula, because the law is still there to say
I'm confused.
Showing dissent by words or action, and the captain having no special status or privileges under the laws of the game, but he has a degree of responsibility for the behavior of his own players. That is law. So that one has not been removed, but this one gives captain to a calm, and if he has something better to say, he can come. But if there's nothing better to say, stay.
So he can't go and try change the decision that the referee has made.
You see, when you come and say, "Hey, it was not a penalty," and with your hands up, it's decent. Okay. Yellow card comes out. But when you come, Mr. Ref, we see it's a wall, then we can engage you. You get the difference. Mr. Karenela, okay, assistant how man. That's the only composition we can take.
But is it not the same thing? The same concept that he's questioning?
Can you see the tone? The tone is different. Now when you come and say,
I can run from the other side.
Okay, here it is. This is why I'm arguing, because this is how I'd read it.
Yeah.
And this is how it's written here. And I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Yeah.
In an effort to limit dissent, UEFA has brought in a rule similar to the existing one in rugby union. Because that's what happens in rugby union, right?
Yeah.
And it says, the captain, therefore, will be the only player allowed to approach the referees, and in return, the referees will attempt to give captain more detailed explanations regarding decisions.
Look, to limit dissent. Because there's a lot of players who are getting yellow cards for dissent.
But this then says that he can ask.
Yeah, so they want to limit dissent, because when more people come, then more yellow cards comes out. Now, if it goes for a captain, now the referee can now engage. But if the captain still comes with a manner that show lack of respect for the game, he will still get. But if he comes, in a manner that, it's approachable.
He's humble.
It's humble. Then the referee will engage you. So we do agree with that, and we'll see during Euro how they
agree that you're wrong. I'm right.
No, all I'm saying is there's law that says,
but there's special privilege for captains now.
Yes, I agree with you.
Thank you. You're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm stating the law on the other side. So you are correct to say it will limit more players. Remember Buddy when he cautioned 3 players of Pirates when they came to protest for a penalty. But if one comes, it's better.
All right. What else do you have?
We want to send a message of condolences to Cape Town. We lost one of our colleague, Ako Nzingo. He was a SAPS. He was shot and he was one of the national panel referees, although he was still coming back after he went for police training college. So Moyo High, our Robaleka Hot. And then we go now to Bloemfontein. Mazola, you were there, man. I'm a spectator. Bloemfontein was good, but I'm a supporters on the grounding.
Yeah,
But how when you celebrate, you are very happy. You even enter the demarcated area. You see our security chasing supporters. You are not allowed to enter the demarcated area, even if you are very happy and excited. It's grounding. Only the players are allowed to be on the field of play. And then loan number 7, the duration of the game we saw in a game between Richmond and Copperbelt where a board showed 5 minutes and then referee played 3 minutes. It was not nice the way the referee handled it, because when the board comes out, everyone can see the board. So now there was miscommunication between referee and assistant and fourth official, because if the board comes and say 5, surely everyone expect 5. It happened to me in Nigeria the other time. I had a fourth official from Senegal who the language barrier is French. When I say 3, I put 5 as well. But I had to play that 5 because I don't know 3 in Senegal. It's 5. But here in South Africa, when I said 3 in Senegal, he put 5. So now in our game where the referee says 3, the fourth official put 5. It didn't look good. So we are saying to our referees, please communicate. It didn't give us a good image in that regard. And that's all I have for now. And let's give over to Mazola. Mazola?
Is that it? Off-season yawashaya wena. Yawashula off-season.
Give Mazola a chance.
No, there's a lot of 18:36. Let's take a break. When we come back on the other side, Mazola comes through with the news.
Podcast Friday on Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM.
The Euros are going to be occupying us for a while now. I think the first big game is Germany-Scotland.
Germany are playing at home. They are one of the favorites to win the tournament, so they should easily beat Scotland at home.
Mark?
Well, Germany has never really performed lately.
What are you saying, Mark?
Germany in the past, it's a guaranteed result against Scotland. This Germany team, I don't think we can say that.
At the end, what are you saying? Are you saying they will win or lose?
I think they'll still win, but it's not going to be convincing. It's not as cut and dry as you say.
Who's your favorite, Mark?
Scotland go into that. Obviously, the African team that's at the Euros is the favorite.
Pro?
Same as Mark, I'll go with the African team as my favorite. But in the opener, Germany versus Scotland, I don't think there's any British side that's going to cause any problems in this competition. Germany should win exclusively.
6 to 7 p.m. Not everyone believes in the youth of 2024. Inventors, leaders. But we are not everyone. Some of the most important people in history. Metro FM. Celebrating the leaders of tomorrow, today. The 3 wise men, but not always so wise. On Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM.
36 minutes have been played between Belgium and Slovakia, and it is 1-0 at the moment, with the Belgium trailing the Slovakians with a goal scored before the 10th minute even. Kevin De Bruyne leads this team with Lukaku up front. Casillas is in goals for them. It's 18:38. Mazola with the news.
Yeah, where to start? Okay, let's start with Ronwen Williams talking about Relebohile Mofokeng. You'd remember last week when Bafana played Zimbabwe in that World Cup qualifier, Ronwen Williams in the last few minutes, Nico Mobi was the sub that was going to be made, but he ran over to Coach Hugo Broos and insisted and pleaded with the manager that the young Mofokeng should come on for his debut. And he was asked by my colleague Velile Mnyandu, who's out in Gqeberha following Ronwen Williams, who's just launched his foundation and doing some good stuff there in his hometown. This is what he had to say about Rile.
You know, there's two sides to it, because they wanted to bring on a different player, you know, and I had to apologize. I had to apologize to the player and say, look, I'm sorry, but because of the special group we have, he understood. He was like, you made the perfect decision in asking for Mofokeng to come on. So I'm just glad, and from now on, you know, he mustn't drop, he must keep going, and so that he can be a permanent feature at Bafana.
Nico, let loose Papa. Don't agree. Hey, you don't agree, Chief.
Brotherhood.
What's in, boy?
Brotherhood.
Then you must take permanent residency on that bench. Hey, you don't agree, Chief. It's beautiful because Sundowns players, you've got Ribeiro out in Brazil doing something for his community. You had Ronald Williams over the weekend doing the same in Kabeja. You had Grant Kekana, in fact, having a golf tournament as well. Back home to who? Mbala. What did Mbala do? I didn't see it.
He's also doing something.
Yeah, he's whispering that.
Tebo Mokoena is in my hometown. This morning, actually, my father was with him. He also just obviously launched the Tebo Mokoena Foundation, and he was doing an under-16 tournament as well out in Bethlehem. So doing some good stuff this Sunday.
Yeah, and it's not just the Sundowns boys. I'm pretty sure there's many more, but those are the ones that came to our attention because I mean they sent a lot of requests to get promotion of these events. If there is anybody else, please send it through. We'd love to shout it out. Hi. That's one that's not content. Really busy. What else here?
Let's get back to the skipper. He does go on to talk about how he wants Relay to be a permanent feature in the Bafana squad. He just loves the way, how brave he is, especially Umokori, like that that goal in the Nedbank Cup. This is what the skipper has said.
I mean, he deserves it. The season he's had at such a young age, you know, and when I see him and when I interacted with him in the Bafana camp, he's such a happy spirit, a happy boy. He just wants to play football. You know, there's no ego, there's no sulking. He's just happy and he wants to play football, and I love that. You know, he's different from the rest of the youngsters where he's just happy, he just wants a ball at his feet. And I was watching him throughout the week and see how he handles himself, how he carries himself. And, you know, he just makes me so happy, you know, to see him every day. And I get excited to see him, you know, because he's so happy. He's always got a smile on his face. He's speaking to everyone. And when I watched him at training, you know, he's fearless.
Well, let's see if Relay will keep smiling because remind me, the awards, is it Monday night or Sunday night? He's up for the Young Player of the Season award against Chandra Campbell as well as Ime O'Connor. Sunday night. I think it's Nalwena.
Yeah, Arabech.
Yeah,
and that young player.
No, I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you have your money on?
I think it will be Relay.
You think it will be Relay?
I think it will be Relay, but if it's a popularity,
I think it's going to be Ime.
If it's a popularity contest, probably Relay. But
okay, we'll talk on Monday. I think it's going to be Ime Ocon.
Ime has played more games. More games, so in that fashion, probably
the only category I didn't like. I don't even know the nominee. Gasa is actually a nominee.
Yes, Gasa.
What game did Gasa handle, the last one?
The cup final.
What did we think of that handling? Okay, go on, Mazola.
Let's go on. There's been a lot of mahebe around Stanley Nwabali, the Nigerian goalkeeper who's been linked to everyone under the sun, really. Clubs in Europe, Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, and Chipa Mpengesi. It shed some light. He doesn't reveal too much, but he expects to, at some point, maybe sell Nwabali. This is what he had to say.
Yes, definitely. We also wish that can happen. We are talking to few clubs abroad. We also believe that he needs something better, that especially after the performance that he showed on the AFCON. You know, being number 2, they were run-ups. You know, he was number 2, second best goalkeeper. You know, of AFCON. So if the opportunity comes, especially abroad, of course, even if it comes locally, you know, and the offer for him, it's not even for us, the offer for him is better, then we are not going to hold on.
I don't think there's anything for Nwabali.
In South Africa?
I just don't think there's anything in general. What did Morgan say when he was here? I think he said there's, but I don't think so. Listen, like I'm reading in between the lines. You don't need to sell a player that's wanted this hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's a matter of deciding and making decisions. I just feel like since AFCON, he's just been selling this player really, really hard.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens because Lloyd Kazapua, yes, the Namibian international, is leaving Chippa United because his contract is up and he's made up his mind, being heavily linked to Skukune United. So if they sell Nwabali, that means they have to start from scratch in terms of their.
Orlando Pirates has just cleared 2 keepers, no? Bongani Zungu have been
offloaded. But let's
leaving
see.
Melusi and Chain.
It's another story in the transfer market to look out for. And then sticking with the Pirates, in fact, I spoke to Miguel Tim recently, and I asked him specifically about the CAF Champions League because Orlando Pirates had high hopes coming into the previous season, but they were knocked out quite early by Jwaneng Galaxy of Botswana, and this is what Miguel had to say.
I was one of the first to say that I was very excited last season, done a few interviews, and I'm not going to change what I said because it didn't work out last season. I think we've given ourselves another opportunity, and we go with the same enthusiasm and excitement as we did last season, obviously better prepared this time. We've learned our lessons. It was a painful one so early in the season, but the nice thing is we know what it feels like to let opportunities slip by, and hopefully we don't do that again.
Well, if they want to progress further, obviously Orlando Pirates are going to need to beef up the squad, and they've already started. Just last week we broke that story that Orlando Pirates have signed Iniesta Silalo Rasibuja of SuperSport United, the midfielder. Wasn't a regular per se, but really one of the core members of the squad under coach Kevin Hunt, but his contract was up. He hasn't renewed it, and he's set to move on and join Orlando Pirates. An announcement should be made shortly or in the next coming weeks, possibly prior to their trip to where they're going again, Spain, where they will play Sevilla. And then lastly, from a SuperSport United point of view, coach Kevin Hunt finally ended speculation as well, signed a new 2-year contract. I suppose we can expect a lot more complaining next season about playing the youngsters and whatever, but hopefully not. Hopefully SuperSport United can get to beef up, and the boys have grown now, even though they might still lose a few to their local rivals or even in Europe. That's how I wrap it up, Andile.
So your father was where? At Happy Father's Day.
Yeah?
What?
His father was in Tebogo.
Was it Tebogo Mkwena yesterday?
Yeah, so we sang Happy Father's Day, Mazola.
Oh, okay.
And Ma'a.
So Papa Mazola, Papa Tebogo.
No. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Guys, football must come back. No, football must come back. Kevin Hunt sealed the deal?
Sealed the deal, 2-year contract, done and dusted. End of my hebe.
Okay. It's 1847 in the Mighty Metro FM. What is it that you want to talk about? The Euros are currently underway. Yes, Mazola, explanation of... give us a call right now. We'll be taking your calls. I'm going to take a short break. We'll come back and take your calls on 086 000 2160. WhatsApp on 060 552 730. Do I sound different? Because I'm wearing my braces. And I don't hardly ever wear my... I normally take them off with it, but I'm wearing my braces. I feel like I sound different. Okay. Explain it to us.
The playoffs.
Tugs are sitting at home, right? They've got nothing to do with nothing now. They're sitting in second position. Baroka at the bottom, Richards Bay at the top. If there's a draw, Richards Bay go through. If they win, they go through, obviously, right? In what instance do Baroka win, and in what instance does Tugs get promotion?
If Baroka beat Richards Bay 1-0, it's Tugs that go through. If Baroka win 2-0, it's Baroka that go through.
Because what is it? It's at first we look at the goal difference.
Correct.
From goal difference, where do we move?
We move to...
is it goals for?
Head to head,
no, goal for.
Goals for?
Goals for, yeah.
Is it goals for?
Yeah, who scored the most goals, yes.
So is that why Tax would go through?
Yeah, and then we look at...
from there, head to head.
That's when...
But we wouldn't need to look at head to head, because then they would have more goals scored with Tax in this regard.
Yes. Hence, if Baroka win 1-0, then it will be Tax that go through. Baroka only go through if they're able to beat Richards Bay by 2 goals or more.
Oh, so it's not just a win for them. It's a win by 2 clear goals or more.
Exactly.
Yeah. There you have it. It's 1848. Let's take a break. When we come back, Olisa, you're first up.
The youth of 76 were heroes in their own right.
This is where the first blood was shed, which gave rise to the uprising to the shooting.
The youth of 2024, you can be too.
We're remembering those who came before us, who gave a path to the way of how we are living.
Metro FM, celebrating the leaders of tomorrow, today.
All right, here we go.
Call Metro FM now on 0860 002160. Drop us a voice note on 060 552 7303.
Waking up, I'm too turned up.
Good evening, Andile. Andile and the guys in the studio. Andile, can you please, my brother, tell me who is this guy, Umpopo? Hey, Andile, everybody is talking about this guy. They say we are Shisa Lumfan, and they want him to go Bafana. Umpopo, Andile, Umpopo. We are Muslim Fanama. Please, just tell me. I know Mazola will tell us about this guy, Umpopo. Andile, Nabi is a coordination. Is it that confirmed? Can you please check to Mazola? And who is coming in, who is going out? This is Bongani from Chaswet, Welbitash East.
Bongani, let's start with the last question there. It's a question that we get every single week. I've been very honest with you as far as Chiefs is concerned. I think Chiefs have done a superb job of keeping their cards very close to their chest. We know that Nabi has been in the conversation because we've confirmed that. We know that there's several other coaches who've been spoken to, but I cannot confirm to you. Maybe Mazola can. What do you know?
What I know is that Nabi is signed, sealed, soon to be delivered. I mean, the news is even I think even beIN Sport after the
I saw that,
the Moroccan League wrapped up over the weekend with Raja.
Was said that he's going to Chiefs.
They said that he's agreed terms with Chiefs. He's bringing his own technical team. So we await an official announcement. We've always said at SABC Sport, on sabcsport.com, that he was always the firm favorite. And this time around, he was going to be allowed to bring his own technical team, which wasn't the case last time around, which ended up with Chiefs hiring Molefe Ncube, who only lasted 100 days in office.
There you have it. And then Mpopo Gema.
Timmy.
To lead nickname. Mpopo Gema. I feel like this is a trick question. Maybe there's something happening on social media or Mpopo. Where I hear Mpopo ring the
if Timmy Asatzibi.
I don't know. Play one more. We need to take the calls.
Hi, Andile and the team. Natitan here, Walanga. Hey, my bro. When it comes to the playoffs, I would love to see Amatax getting the promotion. The reason why I wouldn't like to see the other two teams going through. Number one, Richards Bay, they got their opportunity while they were still in the PSL, in the DSTV. I really don't like the playoffs. I still believe that you relegate two, you promote two. Number two, the reason why Baroka, I don't want to see them winning, it's because of Lama Him. It's because of what they did to Udendens Malisel. I will never forgive Ibaroka for what they did to Udendens Malisel. By the way, why Udendens, man? Why Kaizer Chiefs ngamthatha Udendens? Bamfaka ku technical team yabo, man. That guy is brilliant.
I don't think so.
Cape Town.
And Gosman boy, I don't think it would work because remember what Dan said when he was working within a team.
Yeah.
He didn't enjoy that at Royal AM. He didn't enjoy that. So, yeah. Let's go to Kolisa. Did you find anything there?
No, I didn't. Okay. About Mbobo?
Yeah?
No, I didn't find anything.
Gubanu Mpopo, man.
Lalela ke amahede has gone far now. Ngizobathi ubaba kaMazola, ubaba kaTeni. You okay.
No, my heavy has gone too far.
Police, go first.
Okay. I was born in Pretoria. I grew up there. I'm a former Amatax student.
Okay.
I want Amatax to get a promotion to the PSL. The only thing
they should have done the job themselves, though, Kolisa.
Yeah, but we still have a chance because if Baroka wins by 1-0, we are gone from Andile.
Kolisa, I hear you. Kolisa, keep listening. I think I just found out who Mpopo is.
Please, bro. Please,
keep listening. Keep listening. Let's go to Vince.
No problem.
Vince is out in Rustenburg. Hey, Vince. Do you know who Mpopo is?
Talk
to me, Vince. You want to talk about the transfers?
Yes. Look, right now, I'm very excited. Transfer window and also the Baba releasing from Orlando Pirates. So, you need to check from your side. Did we get anyone maybe, because of now we're preparing for CAF. Yeah. So
you want to know if there's any rumors of players going to Pirates in particular?
Yes, and then before you go on, there was a guy man on Madala, Sundowns Medala against them, and then Ashapa Pali, and then Bahana Goulade, Abai Dumel.
Aziz Ki.
He's from, he plays in Tanzania, but he's from Burkina Faso. He was with the squad at AFCON, didn't play many games, kicks with both left and right. He's a phenomenal scorer, very pacey. Yeah.
And then what about him? Where is he? Is someone stooping him over? Or?
Well, I can tell you this. Rolando Mokwena has been tracking that boy from back when Rolando was still at Chippa United. He wanted to bring him to South Africa. So I do know that he knows a lot about the boy. And after that game against Sundowns, you would think that, if they're interested in a player like that, especially when you look at what's happening up front with Sundowns at the moment. I also do know that his management team had said that they would try and send something to Kaizer Chiefs, to say, hey, have a look at this boy. Kaizer Chiefs is the one that came up to me when they had spoken to me when I was in Tanzania. In fact, I'd gone to see the boy. I went to watch him play in Tanzania. They'd said that. So that's all I can tell you. That's all I know.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Let's go over to Tumelo. Tumelo's in Joburg South, wants to speak about Bongani Zungu. Good topic. I should have actually asked Mazola about this. Tumelo, what's up?
Sharp, what's up, my brother?
Yeah, no, easy.
Yeah, sharp. Yeah, I wanted to ask Mazola regarding the issue. Yeah, Bongani Zungu, what's the case? What's happening there?
Yeah, listen, it took a lot of us by surprise. Mazola,
sure.
Bongani Zungu leaving Sundowns?
Yeah, it took a lot of us by surprise on Friday when it was announced. I've reached out to Bongani's camp. I'm still waiting for his French-based agent to get back to me with regards to next moves and whatever the case may be. What I do know, obviously, is Bongani, when he joined, he had signed a 2-year contract with an option to have it renewed for a further year. So him leaving, and the club has still not made an announcement, which again, it's further mahebe that we have to chase, because traditionally you would find that the club and the player would release a statement at the same time. Yeah. But Bongani is the one who let the cat out the bag. But that means the option then has not been exercised because he was in his option year. And
the option lies on the team.
Yes, the team has to trigger it. If the team says we're not retaining you, we're not giving you a new offer.
And Bongani has no... He has no say. If they say we're triggering it, we're triggering it.
We're triggering it, yeah.
So essentially, to me, what we're saying here is Sundowns let Bongani go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate
it, man. Let's go to Jimmy. Jimmy from Macau. He's got a question for Mazola. Jimmy.
Hey, Mazola, Tavik. Hey, Andile.
Hey,
Tera.
Mazola, what's the television? You are a go better. I'm following the studio. Mohawele Silo Kaizer Chiefs.
Mango.
What do you mean? We've been speaking about your Nabi for weeks now.
Mazola, the Kaizer Chiefs is the biggest team in South Africa.
Jimmy, we told you, Chiefsy Emetsi to formally appoint a coach, because the coach then has carte blanche over whether who stays or who goes. There's only 2 weeks left. There are 7 players who are out of contract. There's only 2 weeks left. One way or the other, the club has got to start making announcements with regards to the future of players who are out of contract. But they're waiting for the coach to also make up his mind, because they can decide but the coach has different ideas.
Mazola.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Mazola. That's what my hand about Papa Mama and Papa How.
Bye, Jimmy, appreciate it. Let's go to Moses. Moses Churena wants to speak about Nabi as well. Moses?
Hey, Andile, long time, how are you?
Very long time. Good to have you back, boy.
Good. Thank you. Hey, you need to have a slot somewhere in your show now for Amahebe. I think there you'll have something. Like the other newspaper I wouldn't want to mention here. But anyway, I want to talk about Nabi. Helmi Goldich from Pirates. Currently has left the team. He's going there to his former boss, Nabi, is going to Kaizer Chiefs as well. So maybe it's a story for Mazola there to also look at.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing when I'm Moses, it's not like we don't know these stories, right? We see them and we hear them as you do. But what we report here is things we know for sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's things that have been checked out factually, deemed to be a fact.
Legit, yeah.
So, and legit. So it's not, we hear these hemis, but imagine if we came here and gave you every rumor we heard every Monday.
Let me tell you.
And then you call us back, lambasting us for giving you mahebe. That doesn't turn out to be true.
Mazola, let me tell you, I'm whispering. It is happening. Trust me. But anyway. Andile,
trust me. Trust me.
Andile, I was one of the very first people to listen to your show, and I give you a compliment, man. It's been so great. I don't want to say we've been colonized or monopolized by a certain gentleman, but you have since taken us from where we are to where we are today, where we were and to where we are today, and I'm really, really grateful for what you have done for this show. I hope Metro FM management is really taking care of you guys because you have rejuvenated this show. Thank you so much.
Oh man, we really do appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
The three wise men, they put everything into it. It's not a one-man show. This appreciated, Moses.
Moses,
thank you so much.
Orlando.
Oh, I'm clever.